Alright, welcome. You're listening to On Deck, brought to you by the Joson, the official school publication of the University of Asia and the Pacific. I'm Justin Adrian Joson, a fifth-year IMC student, and we're happy to have you guys here. We're looking forward to a really great discussion on anything that washed up on our deck. Joining me are two other student co-hosts.
That is right. Hi everyone, I'm Kiano Campos San Juan, a 4-6YP student taking up MA Political Economy.
Hi, my name is Marcus Asinas, a 5-year 6YP student taking up Master of Science in Management. And for today, we'll be talking about harassment.
So, before anything else though, just to establish, we're going to be watching a video that we're going to dissect, react to, and give our opinions about it.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Ha? Huwag ka ba? Gago ka! Nagka-drive thru kayo, papapuntahin mo ako doon? Isang po order ito, papapuntahin mo ako doon? Ha? Alam mo, kano kasulina?
I don't understand what you're saying.
Gago ka! Manager ka? Usapin mo yung mga tao mo, ha? Kung wala kayong drive-thru, patanggal nyo na to. Bakit? Ano mo gagawin ko? Doon magka-traffic na nagkasabihin mo sa isang susunod ko ang punta ko dito? Gago! Hindi na usapan dito. Ano yung pangalan? Ano yung pangalan mo?
I like how it's so fun.
Hindi lang sir, mabibigay ko po
Gago ka mag-isip, ha? Hindi na ka.
Okay, so, obviously, before we start discussing it, we want to empathize with the heaviness of this topic. Of course, harassment, it's not always the easiest thing to talk about. I don't think it's ever the easiest thing to talk about. For some people, it's a very triggering conversation. It's not easy to have, but we'll try to make this, we hope that we're able to deliver this the best we can, and that we don't offend anyone, we don't trigger anything for any people, okay? So, basically what happened in the video, guys, is a customer was caught on video swearing at a fast food manager after he was allegedly asked to wait for his order in a drive-thru. While in front of the fast food window, he hurled his dialogue to the lady manager, cursing at her, threatening her in a very offensive manner. And so, I just want to hear, what do you guys think about that?
Honestly, initial reaction to that video, it's not the first time I actually saw it. My mom showed it to me, and until now, even if it's the second time I'm watching it, it's kind of crazy. He was so angry, and for what? I think the lady said he ordered 7 meals, and it takes quite some time to prepare just one meal, right? So I don't understand why he was so mad. He was cussing at her. He was calling her really mean things, pointing at her, and even threatening her livelihood, her job. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, same goes with Yana also. But I like how the manager was able to handle it.
Yeah.
She was really respectful when it comes to answering the angry customer.
Yeah.
And ang nakakapagtaka lang when it comes to the customer, when you go to a drive-thru, you have this certain expectation that you'll have to wait for quite some time.
Yeah.
It's not like you...
It's not instant.
No,
it's not
so
a vending. It's not a vending machine.
It's not like you drive you up, that's my food, I'm going. It's not that quick.
Exactly.
Same sentiments with you guys, and more so, okay, like you said, we respect that the manager was able to handle that well. Because for one, I'm pretty sure they were trained. That's part of the job. But just because it's part of their job to handle people like them, it doesn't mean that there should be people like them.
It's unwarranted.
It's not unwarranted. We should avoid acting like that towards any form of service or anyone actually, and if we're done discussing it, I think we have to properly define harassment before moving further.
Yeah.
And so, Marcus, would you like to?
Yeah, here's the definition of harassment. Basically, harassment covers a wide range of unwanted behavior, including physical contact and verbal abuse that causes emotional distress to the harassed. So another thing I would like to add on the harassment, there are two key aspects of harassment. Number one is the intention of the abuser.
Okay.
So what was his intention? In the video, ano intention ni Kuya? It's more of really to parang to speed up his order lang. That was the intention. No, there's no like really good intention on it. I get him that he can be disappointed. Okay lang yun, pero to go the extra mile of really shouting at them, it's not good.
Yeah.
Another thing is for harassment is the gravity of the action. I mean, shouting at people, cursing at them. For others, it's okay, it's manageable, but for others, really traumatizing.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, I agree. And jumping off of what you said too, like how harassment is kind of like a wide range.
Yeah.
It's more of like an umbrella term since we're all aware that there are different types of harassment. I'm sure when I say the word harassment, like you guys like think of a specific type, like off of the top of your head. But over here, I have like, you know, a short list, and harassment really covers a lot of things. Like, it covers domestic violence, elder or dependent adult abuse, so like a legal guardian. And you know what? Harassment most commonly too happens in the workplace. So there's a specific type of workplace harassment. More than that, sexual harassment. This is very apparent, especially now with the Me Too movement. And of course, there's also civil harassment. So honestly, civil harassment is not something that I was very aware about. It seems like such a simple thing. But actually guys, stalking someone or like threatening someone, that actually falls under civil harassment.
Yeah.
So a lot of these harassment like can take place, for example, in the workplace. So like they can be connected to one another, not necessarily completely separate. So yeah.
And just to add to the types of harassment that she mentioned, you know, we also have criminal harassment, and there's also cyberbullying and cyberstalking.
Cyberbullying,
She
yeah.
really said, you know, and just to like shed some more light on these types, you know, we'll just give a brief explanation for each. Okay, so for domestic violence, it's violent or aggressive behavior within the home. For elder or dependent adult abuse, it's intentional act or failure to act that causes or creates a risk of harm to an older adult. For workplace, it's assaults directed toward persons at work or on duty. For sexual harassment, it's making of unwelcome and inappropriate sexual remarks or physical advances in the workplace. For civil, it's threats, violence, stalking, or any behavior that scares or annoys someone. And for criminal harassment, it's repeated following, communicating with, or watching over one's dwelling home. And for cyberbullying or stalking, it's sending messages of an intimidating or threatening nature. So, yeah, we're gonna be doing a lightning round. If you guys are fine with that. It's a quick little game, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm gonna be giving a series of situations, and I want you guys to tell me whether or not they're harassment or not harassment accordingly. Okay? So, do you guys have tools, or just gonna answer me harassment or not?
Wait, I wanna have a tool.
Okay.
Wait, I'm gonna.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Sige.
Wait, so am I answering like yes or no?
You can.
Yeah.
So,
You're answering yes or no?
Yes or no also.
Are you gonna use a tool also? Okay, I'm gonna use a tool.
Okay.
Let me prep.
I didn't prep, but
Okay, I'm
sorry.
prepped.
Okay,
I'm prepped.
sige. So, we're gonna breeze to them. You can explain your answers later. But for now, 1, 2, 3, go. Punching your bestie on the shoulder.
no.
No, okay, same.
Okay. Making fun of your friend's roots, culture, identity.
Same, yes.
Trash talking in sports or in online games.
Feeling ko no.
For me, it's no also.
Yeah, guys, I played Fortnite. It happens.
Okay.
It's more of gitna. It's not
Yeah, like,
really.
it depends.
Yeah.
Context
Guys,
is important.
lightning round. We're not explaining
sorry,
it.
sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. My bad.
Asking another person for information that they don't want to give.
Oh my god, definitely yes.
Definitely.
Okay. Getting pissed at retail workers or customer service for taking too long.
Oh, yes. I also-
Definitely yes.
Yes, guys.
Repeatedly calling your friend kalbo.
Feeling ko no. Depende sa context.
It depends on the context.
Pero basta no. No, lightning round.
Okay. Getting mad at someone just because they get on your nerves. Nice.
No?
Guys, lightning? Hello?
It's more of a yes.
Oh, okay. I see.
Guys.
Texting my crush, I'm thinking of you every night while in my bed.
Guys,
That's not good, bro.
Okay, harassment. Okay. Shooting fan cams of a person without them knowing.
scary yun. So
Bro,
yes. Fan cams, those are like the video
That's
edits, right? Like
Okay.
those TikTok video edits.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's scary.
Leaving hurtful comments on someone's YouTube vlog.
Oof.
What do you
Depends on the comment. But
For me,
I would say it can.
yeah, I'm answering a yes also.
Okay, so yun yung last na lightning round portion na question pala. And you guys disagreed on one, no?
The kalbo one, I
The kalbo one. You're really calling your friend kalbo. Okay, so why? Why did you say, you said no and you said yes?
I said
No.
No,
I said
you said
no.
yes.
He
I said
said
yes.
harassment. I said not.
So why don't you think it's not harassment?
You know what? I know it. There's like it's kind of like in a place of limbo because maybe the friend is getting offended. So context really matters. But I say no because I have kalbo friends.
Okay, so it's
No,
okay.
I have friends that are kalbo and like sometimes I use it as a term of endearment.
Actually,
Like,
Paano?
hey
You have a
kalbo.
point.
I like, oh, kalbo, like dito.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's always been their hairstyle, so it's kind of become my pet name for them. And it's a vibe.
Okay.
But if they're getting offended, harassment na yun. Feeling bullying.
yeah.
Diba?
It can lead to bullying also.
Yeah.
Like, I would like to touch on more on the context.
Mhm.
Paano someone is, kunwari, di ba we have this certain type of friend na
Yeah.
they're not really unexplained. Hindi nila sinasabi kung ba't sila nagpakalbo or something like that.
Yeah.
What if that person is going bald? Or what if that person is actually need to magpakalbo
Yeah.
because
Of
may cancer siya or
something,
something,
yeah.
undergoing chemo. I think really the point there is really context.
Yeah.
Context is important before you tell them kalbo. But I will not be a hypocrite. I called some of my friends, sorry
Kalbo.
guys, I called them kalbo.
No,
and
but
I'm
it's a
sorry.
good. The way you explained that is actually really good because like going back to your first point where when it comes to like harassment there's like two variables involved, the person harassing and the person being harassed. So if the person who's like supposedly being harassed doesn't feel offended, does that even count as harassment, right?
Yeah. But I think it's, what you said the last thing is much controversial. But I would say
Yeah.
if the person being harassed, it's not para sa akin, hindi naman ako na-harass.
Oh, like
But the act in itself,
they're
it's not
nonchalant. Oh yeah, okay.
It's not
yeah.
So you mean contradict, no? Like, it contradict.
Oo.
Okay, so
Yeah.
ang pangit because just because they say they're not harassed, that you're gonna continue to do
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
it's still harassment.
But it's still harassment.
Oh, that's okay.
That's a good point.
That's a
great
good point.
actually.
So just to be more clear, guys, this actually falls under civil harassment. Okay, we're discussing it first because it's the one that they disagreed on, but we will be discussing every situation mentioned earlier. Okay, so under here, apart from kalbo, you know, and that could be a pet peeve to them. Bakit tayo kalbo? Do you guys have any pet peeves? Like anything that annoys either of you? Annoying enough na it might lead you to act irrational if sobrang na kayo na-annoy. Like, do you have any?
You first.
I'm trying to think right now, but I think for me, I'm a really chill person. I vibe with everything naman.
Okay.
Yeah, they.
But one pet peeve, not naman really harass. When someone choose na sobrang
Oh my
harass.
god. Yes.
Pero hindi ka naman manunod.
Hindi naman ako parang
Only I tell them. I'm like, bro. But I make it like in a joking manner. Na, wow, sarap na sarap si ate girl.
Okay. So, there are other cases of civil harassment that we've probably seen take place, and I think one of them is PWDs. And just to explain further, it's when you're not, just because you don't see their disability, like you'll assume that they're not, you know, and some people would go to the extent of really quote unquote like harassing them, like you should, let's say it's a line, like hey, get out of the line, you're not PWD, like they really have to prove themselves. And so that's one. And another would be exclusion within friendship. Actually, this one I want to hear like your thoughts. Exclusion within friendship groups or the clear avoidance of association with those with disabilities. Like do we think this is harassment na just because may disability ka, I'm not gonna be friends with you? Or is this more like a personal thing? Do you think it falls under harassment?
I mean, I'm not really sure if it's
Right?
harassment, but being left out because of being disabled.
That's like
it.
That's sad.
discrimination.
That's mean.
Yeah, discrimination actually.
Actually, interesting example that you gave, Justin, because now I'm thinking, wow, is there like passive harassment and active harassment? Because usually the examples we
Yeah.
gave for
Like a more
harassment
subtle
also
form.
was more like, yeah, you assault the person, it's more active, like it's on the spot, but then leaving someone out like just because they're disabled that's a little bit more passive, right?
What is?
Right?
But then
But for me, that's kind of harassment to some extent, right?
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Okay.
Because
Alright, so given everything we've discussed about civil harassment, like, what do you think people can do to avoid committing acts of civil harassment? I think a while ago you mentioned na you tell your friends when they're chewing too loud. Okay, so like just to start this, I think for me, a good way to avoid civil harassment, especially when it comes to stuff like this, keyword civil, be civil about it. Communicate, right?
Yeah.
Communicate. Let them know na hey, what you're doing, or whatever it is, what you said or what you're doing, it's not something I appreciate or it doesn't sit well with me. I'd appreciate if you tone it down or if you stop. Because I think the issue with these cases is that people don't really say anything. They just act. Like, you know what, you annoy me and I'll do something to you.
Yeah.
But you didn't let the other person know that how they're affecting you, and so they didn't know. And you would have let them know, and maybe it would have changed something. So
I mean, yeah, I agree with Joson. There's nothing wrong with enforcing your, not rights naman, but something that you're entitled. If you are someone who is person with disabilities, don't be afraid to speak up that what your friends are doing is not okay with you.
Yeah.
Your feelings are completely valid. So let them know, and they are friends for a reason. And communication is key, I would say. Really talk to them. Because it's medyo sad to say, but they will not really adjust for you.
Yeah.
that's true.
Sometimes ganun talaga. That's the world it is.
And also, a reality we live in is each and every one of us are susceptible to, like, subconsciously sometimes harassing someone. Like, we don't realize that what we're doing is kind of like making them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So a good way to go about it, and I live by it, is like read the room. Like, just be aware of the vibes, the environment you're in, and the vibes of the people around you. Like, just read the room. And if anything goes wrong, be civil about it.
And another thing I would like to add is, guys, if ever you realize that you harass someone, like unintentionally, don't be afraid to apologize.
Oh,
to that
that's
person.
true.
It's good that at least you acknowledge that
What you did was
you did
wrong.
something wrong to this
Yeah.
person. Say sorry to them and ask them what you can do for them to at least alleviate the pain if
Yeah.
ever there is.
Oh, you know, I really appreciate that input, Marcus, because personally, me, I'm a very touchy person. Like that's how I express like my appreciation for my friends, my love for my friends, you know.
Touch.
And sometimes I don't realize it, you know. I'll put my arm around my friends or I'll link arms with them, and I think all my friends know this. And more by the end of the day, I'll think about it and I don't know how it makes them feel. I'll really message my friends like, hey, I know I was a bit touchy today, and if at any point within the day I made you uncomfortable, do let me know. And I do apologize.
I'm sorry.
That wasn't my intention. It's just something that I'm used to. So I'm really sorry if it affected you in any way. Please let me know if it bothered you. Like, that's it, right? So that was civil harassment. That's the one you guys disagreed on, yung kalbo. So we're gonna circle back to the first situation that we mentioned, which is about the workplace, okay? Which is punching your bestie on the shoulder, making fun of your friend's roots, culture, identity, or even making jokes that others may find offensive. So, why do you think this is harassment? You know, punching your bestie in the shoulder, making fun of friends' roots and stuff like that.
No, we answered.
We answered
Not
not
harassment.
harassment,
Not-
the punching on the bestie, but then the making fun part, that's kind of like harassment.
Harassment.
Yeah, we agreed on that.
Yeah, especially when it comes to roots.
Yeah, and culture,
Culture.
like, guys,
It's not good.
let's be more open-minded. But like circling back to the punching your bestie on the shoulder, you know what? I think people do that. Like, parang, uy, pre, gets, uy, I didn't harass you. Just kidding, no.
Us.
But then it's more of like a form of endearment to some extent. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would
Like,
say,
do you do
like
that?
when I see my friends, like Joson, when I see him in campus, oh, Justin, who's that?
Oh.
Sometimes we do like that.
So
Sorry.
Justin,
Guys, you're
Ask
punching me!
Justin asked Marcus's friend and I asked my friend, did you feel harassed?
Yeah.
Let's do it sabay. 1, 2,
And
3.
also,
What's happening?
like, also, another thing is, the term friend is there.
Yeah, and it's not just friend, it's bestie.
Yeah.
Hindi, okay. Pero yun nga, a while ago you mentioned na sometimes, let's say me, diba you said, sometimes they're fine with it, but then just because you say you're fine with it, they'll continue to do it. Diba, pero,
That's a good.
what if
But
me?
also,
What if
Marcus,
me? Like,
it's
just because
not-
I'm your friend, they're like, no, I'm fine with my friends punching me. If I know, what if sometimes it's a bit too hard na? It
But-
actually hurts.
Question, is this like actually punching or is it the action of punching? Because like, it's like not a real punch.
Okay.
Like, it's not inflicting any pain.
For you guys. But the thing is, we don't know. No. No, I'm just saying, for you guys, for other people, we don't know. What if there's actual weight to their punches, diba? But again, but that's true, no? You know what, maybe that's reaching. I'm pretty sure na.
Okay, let's keep it at this.
Let's keep it at that.
With the bestie, and if it's done like out of endearment, not harassment.
Okay.
But if it's unwarranted and
you're
actually
just-
And
inflicting
there's a
pain,
weight to it.
yeah, that's harassment.
Okay, good.
Right? Okay, that's
Alright.
clear.
So, is there other habits that you think people do to their friends that make them uncomfortable, apart from punching?
I would say the head
Oh,
top.
the head. Do people do that? You're tall. I'm like the shortest among us. And
Is this
people-
harassing?
No. I'm just saying that the one of the.
Have you experienced that, Marcus?
No, man. No.
Do you do it?
I do it to people.
I do it. Okay, so sige, we established that it's a friend thing. So sometimes like it's fine as long as you don't actually hurt them. So now I'm curious, like how do you distinguish the line between banter and harassment? Yung asaran lang, it's just playful.
Oh.
How do you distinguish?
That's good. Because in the Philippines, we have in Filipino, we have, napikon siya. I don't know the English translation of
I
napikon.
think just stick them off or something.
It's
Yes.
No, but then like, pikon kasi is used in the context wherein you guys are doing banter and then one of them,
They
like,
get fed up with it.
got,
Yeah. Parang hindi siya okay all of a sudden.
yeah, or na-trigger
They got
siya.
triggered, yeah.
So, that's such an interesting question. What's the line?
To me, I think much like what you said about a while ago about reading the room. I think you also have to know, and I'm pretty sure you'd be able to tell if what you're saying, if what you're doing is becoming too much,
Yeah, I
right?
agree.
Let's say you're getting a bit too personal. Obviously, no one, and you're making jokes and it's something personal, diba? Na, I'm pretty sure you know the line between, wait, I think I'm hurting my friend already. I should
Yeah.
stop.
Goes back to reading the room.
Yeah,
The vibes.
I agree.
Also,
So, how do you create that boundary with your friends? Apart from, if not only just communicating with them, like how do you create that boundary?
interesting because I'm really a talkative person sometimes. I don't know if I'm reaching the line,
Right.
diba? So, I think one thing, apart pala from reading the room, I'm thinking of more of a framework.
Ano, so what do you think ikaw? Do you have anything to say?
Yeah, what I do is, because like, I'd say like, I'm friends with a handful of people and they're like from different friend groups. But there's only one friend group where I'm really like comfortable like doing some banter with. Because I know what our threshold is.
Yeah.
Like as a friend group. But with other people, I don't initiate it.
Okay.
If they're comfortable, they will initiate it. And I just hop off what they're saying. But it's never personal.
No, that's true because I don't think it's ever really established. You just, when you have a group of friends, and I think a lot of you can agree with this, no,
Yeah.
na, you just know it. You
Yeah,
just
it's
know
an
what jokes.
unspoken,
Yeah, I
it's an
agree with that.
unspoken rule.
Right? Like,
Parang you have this certain types of friends. Pwede ako dito.
Yes,
Pwede ako
exactly.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I'm
dito. Pero
saying.
this one are like the more mellow type. The
That's
more
why
chill
there are
type.
memes where like, when I use personality A with my friend group letters.
right? It's really
Like,
different.
You know
And so,
how you vibe with different people?
Siguro, an advice or a tip that I can
okay.
that I do is also
Wise man Marcus.
when I do like kalokohan with other friends and say things, pag napipeace sign ako, kung alam ko medyo na-off sila, napipeace sign ako, they don't respond. It means na parang
You
yung
offended them.
overboard.
Oh, so that's like your
kasi
test.
may sinabi ako sa'yo, banter.
Okay.
And then nag-peace sign ako, then you're okay lang. And you do like that,
May-
hindi ka nag-peace.
Oh, like,
I think that's a practical.
like
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
like, you kind of messed up.
Can be one.
Time to apologize.
Diba?
If ever you do have to establish it, you can always talk to your friends na, that's like, it takes one instance like, hey guys,
Yeah.
I know we're having fun,
But let's not cross this.
let's not cross this line. This is not something I'm comfortable
Yeah.
making jokes about. Like,
Honestly, that's the main solution.
communicate,
Yeah.
right?
We're all mature here. It's time to communicate.
Alright, so the next point that we're going to be talking about is the portion on sexual harassment. Okay, it's about to get a bit heavy, so if you're not prepared, you can tune out. And if you want to listen, feel free to stay. So, the one example that we mentioned a while ago was texting my crush, I'm thinking of you every night while in my bed. You shooting fan cams with your favorite person on campus without them knowing, you're just like being lurkered, recording them, asking another person for information that they don't want to give. So, why is this sexual harassment? You can feel free to look back on how we define sexual harassment.
I'm gonna look at my cheat sheet, Marcus.
Yeah, I think basically those scenarios that doesn't make really falls under sexual harassment. Number one, because it's unwarranted.
Yeah.
It's really unwarranted. So, like in the first case, they're texting her crush, I'm thinking of you.
Nice.
Tinatanong ba niya yun? Alam ba niya malaman?
And it's like,
I mean, you can keep it to yourself. Kung
That's
talagang gusto mo yung
true.
tao,
it's so
keep it to yourself.
scary for someone to do that.
Yeah, sobrang,
Like, she doesn't need to know.
yeah, she doesn't need to know. Like,
Yeah.
texting, bro. Kung sinabi mo in person, like, I'm thinking of you, it's more even creepy. So it's not good.
Yung same thoughts. So, pagka ganun, when it's like that, what should people be mindful of when making advancements such as that?
Okay, you know what? Not everything that pops in your head, you need to say out loud.
okay.
That's why we have stuff like, oh, it was an intrusive thought. I'm sorry. Like what you said, no one asked. Like, I don't think your crush asked.
Yeah. At saka, aside from that, if you really like the person, as in, gusto mo talaga, express it in some other way. Like,
Yeah. Like,
kung
do
gusto mo yung
good
person, write a poem about her. Hindi mo naman necessarily kailangan
Do you write
At
poems?
least, let's not talk about it.
Okay.
things. Or libre mo siya, right?
Yeah,
Bakit
bakit
pwede mo
Tubig.
like, do a poem or an artwork for that person.
Kinikilig ako.
No, guys, come on, it's not about
So guys, if Marcus writes you a poem,
No, guys.
You know, you already know,
you
huh?
guys know.
I'm a changed man, bro.
Oh!
So that
what
means
a
he used to do it.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna lie, Justin, the one that you said about the fan cam one, that's
Oh, that's
so
creepy.
scary. Like, you not knowing that you're being filmed. Say, like, here in UANT, like, we're doing our thing, and then yun pala someone's filming you, Justin. Like, wouldn't you be scared?
I'd be very uncomfortable.
And more than that, it's a fan cam. So, like, they're making edits of you
And I think, kasi
and posting it on TikTok.
maybe, because in their mind, and I'm assuming that's how it is, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm assuming that maybe they think like it's a flattering thing. No, they should be flattered. Yeah, I guess I admire them, I find them fun. But then again,
But it's being done in secret.
it's in secret.
What if the scenario like it's a basketball player and they'll film in that basketball player while playing sport?
Well, that makes
Parang
kind of
pwede
makes
pa.
sense
That's
because
fine.
like it's an event that's happening,
Oh.
and technically it's like, oh, the performer in front is the basketball player, right? But then
Oh,
if
that's
it's
true.
like when you're studying or if, for example,
Oh,
like,
yun yung
eating Asian bowl in USC and someone films you out of nowhere,
And
Parang yun
Ethan,
yung mali.
and then you see it posted online, that's like,
like that's weird.
wait a minute, I didn't.
Pero siguro like in terms of the sport or the things that they do in public that they're
Like, for example,
that they're
yeah.
willing to do. Like, I'm willing to play in public parang in
Or like a reverb member
Yeah.
like singing and having a performance.
and
Cheated.
I think that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are some points to remember when socializing with people in general? So, like, there's physical boundaries and there's verbal boundaries, you know. And I think I touched on this earlier when I mentioned how I am with my friends when I'm very touchy. So, for physical boundaries, how do you know if you can put your arm around the person? The people.
Interesting.
Okay, you boys first.
Okay. You know what's the case again?
Since more often than not, it's usually the guy that puts their arm around
Okay.
someone.
Okay, wait.
Right?
So,
Makes sense.
for me, and this is all my female friends. Hey guys.
Shout outs.
For me kasi, I think I read the room first. Like to myself, I think to myself, if have I established a strong enough connection with this friend, and before I even do so, nowadays, before kasi talaga I would just do it, and if they're fine with it, they're fine with it. But that's wrong. Okay, don't do that. Don't
Yeah.
just feel it. Diba? Like nowadays, I ask, hey, is it fine if I put my arm around you? There's no malice or anything. It's how I express myself.
Yeah.
Even when they're linking arms, though linking arms might be more innocent, but yung gagawin niyo as a friend mo. Like, I always ask now because you can't just guess it. Before I used to do that before, and if ever I've done that to any of you, any of my friends, and it bothered you, I'm really sorry.
This is Justin's apology
This is my
video.
apology video. No, because I think there was a time wherein when I realized I do it out of nowhere, I started asking my old friends. One of them, I'm not gonna disclose their name, obviously. We were at a party, at an event, the birthday. And I asked her, I've been asking this to people more often now, and I think you're one of the first few people I got really comfortable with, and I just started doing that. And I asked her, like, did it ever bother you? And she said, you know what, there was a time na yes. Na it wasn't all the time. I wasn't always fine with it. And it's just, I adapted to it because I know that that's just you and you have no intention.
Aww.
And I felt bad that she just had to adjust to it and that she was never able to tell me things. And I just said, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. I'm really sorry that I made you uncomfortable. I didn't ask you first, but if ever in the future I do it and it makes you uncomfortable, please let me know.
Yeah.
I will try to tone it down so that I won't make you cause any further discomfort. So,
Okay, Marcus, like, how do you set like the
I
boundary?
mean, I would like to also to apologize.
this is an apology
Guys,
video
the
now.
boys,
I'm so
my
sorry.
God.
I'm really like touchy when it comes to not just girls, even to my guy friends.
Yeah.
Kasi minsan, like, when I see them, don't sa Christine.
Guys, they've been pushing me and punching me.
Yeah.
I'll go on.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing is really consent. Remember the capital C.
True consent.
Guys, consent.
Consent.
If ever you'll do anything with someone, like touch that person, basta being touchy to that person, as long as physical boundaries yun, may karapatan siya for all of that.
True.
Okay?
Well said.
If you're planning to sit around that person, paalam ka lang. Like si Justin naman, like, Justin, pwede ba ako tumabi sa'yo? Wala namang, napakadali.
Like,
O, diba? Napakadali.
guys, so in short, communication is key to good relationships.
In all of this, no, can I just say, I super appreciate that you use the example of sitting next to your friend. Because I think people expect or only assume that harassment comes when it's like a big move or a big action.
Yeah.
Right? So I respect that you said, even sitting down next to someone, you don't know if they're entirely comfortable. Like, maybe with some so close friends, like maybe it's your best friend. It's me and Marcus, like we've been friends since, 4 years now.
Yeah.
Na if we sit next to each other, it's fine. But for someone that you barely know, maybe they're not comfortable next to you, ask. Diba? Like, that's such a good point. I super respect that.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to add to?
No, but I love how you guys brought that up. Like, being able to ask first or after the fact, you guys apologizing or clarifying. I think that's a big deal. And, like, that tumatatak talaga yun sa tao. Like, they remember na, oh, crap, like, this person apologized or like, oh, they were aware of what they did. So, all good. Like, no bad blood. And, like, no grudges held. So, yeah, that's really good.
So, moving forward, how do you react to a friend or a reportee of the victim? Like, what would be the right action to react to sexual harassment? Like, let's say I had an experience of sexual harassment and I open up to you. How should be the proper way to react? How would you react?
Oh.
And feel free, like, either of you can start first.
First, don't invalidate their feelings.
Thank you.
I mean, kasi baka mamaya, that person is telling about this. First, don't invalidate their feelings. Allow them to explain it. And number two, I think it's, you have to view it with, not view it with skepticism naman. Parang, kasi baka sometimes we tend to over-exaggerate things or baka mamaya meron na mga mali na sasabi.
Yeah.
Try to look into the facts first. Facts muna, and then once you think ka, it's really totoo na talaga, possible nga na nangyari to your friend, the best thing to do is to report to the authorities.
Okay.
I think, pero bago mo i-report, tanong mo muna. Tanong mo na, are you comfortable with reporting this to this person?
Yeah.
Kasi baka mamaya, the person itself, hindi pa siya comfortable at that time.
Yeah.
Kasi pwedeng she's comfortable na for like after 30 minutes or after a day
Yeah.
or any time na baka she's comfortable na with that.
But interesting your approach to it, because though it's great, it's also like very ideal. Because as a girl and as someone like who's been put into that position, wherein a lot of people, well, multiple circumstances wherein someone has opened up to me and said that something occurred with another person I know or a person that I'm familiar with, really puts you in a position, what Marcus said was right, don't invalidate their feelings. But most of the time, like, of course, I've only experienced it with girls. I don't know how it is with guys, but more often than not, these girls just want someone to listen to them and validate their feelings. And often, guys, like, they don't actually want it reported, even if that's the right thing to do. They get really scared to report it. And in the situation where you know the person who harassed them, like, I always make sure to ask, like, what do you want me to do about it? Or is there anything you're expecting from me, or do you just want me to listen to you, be here for you? Because I think that makes it clear. Because sometimes when people like open up to us, sometimes we tend to like give advice, when in reality they're not asking for advice. They already know what to do. They just want you to. They just want to cry. Yeah.
And I think just before we move on, I think what you said, you don't know how it is for guys, you know, and this isn't just from a portion of experience, you know, but I think for other guys that I know as well. For them, with that experience, it's difficult because oftentimes when it's a guy reporting to a friend or to anyone, it's I think it's upsetting because the reaction that they get is, hindi bro, kasi pogi ka eh.
Oh God.
Hindi bro, lakas mo kasi.
Really?
And I think it's sad because it's not what you want to hear. It's not what you need to hear.
Yeah.
It's not flattering at all.
It's invalidating.
It's invalidating na you think I wanted that to happen to me. You think it's flattering that I experienced that. No, it's not something that I wanted na. And you're just gonna tell me na, hindi, pogi kasi bro, okay lang yan, malakas ka kasi. Like, I think it's so sad na it's oftentimes approached that way when you open up to other male friends. But yeah.
That's so interesting. I've never seen it that way.
So moving forward, we have cyberbullying. Okay? So for a while ago, the example was pretending to be someone else to spread hurtful messages or make a prank on someone.
Guys, that happened to me before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, we'll get into it
Okay,
later.
sige. So, okay, why is this considered cyberbullying? You intrigued us. Yeah, you intrigued us. Okay, fine, we'll get into it later. So, why is this cyberbullying?
Why? Okay. Allow me to think. Yeah.
Well, cyberbullying, because let's use pretending to be someone, and then as you're pretending to be that person, you leave like hurtful messages to another person.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're hitting two birds with one stone. Like, number one, you're jeopardizing the person you're imitating or you're pretending to be by being mean, when in reality, maybe that person isn't even mean. Maybe it's the nicest person ever. And number two, you're pretending to be them whilst hurting another individual. So, like, there's no other excuse for it. There's no loophole. It's flat out cyberbullying and harassment.
Yeah. And also, would like to touch on the intention naman.
Yeah.
Bakit mo kailangan mag-pretend to be someone?
And why
If
do
meron
you
kang-
need to
if you-
be hurtful? Yeah.
Why do you have to pretend to be someone if your intention is good?
Yeah.
Diba, why do you have to cover, parang magtago ka for that person pa?
Crazy.
Okay, so another idea is like, let's say, posting funny pictures of a person without their consent or making fun of someone's funny video.
Okay. So me, I love taking photos of, not photos of people, wait. I love taking photos with my friends, and I love taking vlogs, videos, but I don't post it. Like,
It's for you.
it's for me, it's like my memory. So, like, I don't think it's right if you post, like, an unflattering photo of your friend. Kahit best friend mo pa yan. Like, ask first. Like me, I still ask my best friend, even if I find her really pretty or really handsome in the photo, like, can I post this pic? Like, I'll just story it, or I'll dump it, or I'll put it on my main. And if they say no, then it's a no.
Yeah, I mean, I really agree with the idea of asking your friend.
Yeah.
And also that, going back to intention. So if you would like to post that flattering photo na o kaya yung magandang picture nila without their consent, I mean, parang it depends pa rin sa sagot nila kung papayag sila or something like that. Pero if your intention is like to post this picture para lang siraan sila. But ano man, kasi may mga naughty tayong friends na ganun eh. I mean, not friends, silly friends. Mga plastic na tao na they would post a pic of you. Parang di mo halata pero sa way para siraan ka.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, no. I don't understand the thought behind that also. It's because
Like, why?
why are you gonna be friends with me just so you can bring me down?
What's the rationale? Yeah,
What's the rationale?
Is that
Yeah, I
even
mean,
being a real
For me, the formula is, consent. And number two, if ever funny picture yan, post it only close friends.
Just sa inyo lang, like
Or-
between you and other close
Close
friends.
friends or
Or isend nyo na lang sa group chat.
Oh yeah, group
Diba?
chat lang.
Yeah.
Pagtawanan
It's
nyo
not for the world to see.
Exactly.
I think, for me, one other case like that, not just funny pictures, but let's say when your friends are drunk, and let's say they're doing stuff that aren't, good, or they're just being silly.
Or they don't look good.
Like, there's no reason for you to be posting it on a public account for other people to see, because you're forgetting to acknowledge that could be embarrassing for them.
Yeah. You know, golden rule, I'm sure all of you, if you don't want it done to you, don't do it to others. If you don't want an ugly photo posted of you, like, without your consent, then don't do it to other people.
That's true.
Right?
Okay.
Simple as that.
So our final case is on false accusations, and this one's a kind of a lengthy one. Okay. So the person's name is Mike Denison, who was falsely Me Too, a movement. Okay.
Me Too.
He was a freelance writer that contributed regularly to the Washington Post and received a steady inflow of work from other publications. However, in October 2017, a list via Google Docs called "Please Bleep This Out: Shitty Media Men" made the rounds online, and Mike was accused of harassment, stalking, and physical intimidation. The reporter of these allegations said that Mike had complaints and filed against him in the Washington Post's HR. He doesn't know who put his name on the list, and these allegations, as he says, are false. Now, this accusation had an economic effect and a social effect and a psychological effect on him. For the economic effect, it's that since then, he has received little to no writing work and now works 3 low-paying jobs. For social, he has a long-time friend of 10 years that cut him off, and he is unable to date because of little money, and the list being one internet search away. And for psychological effect, he feels that he has to hide in plain sight, and also feels the pressure of having to tell his family and friends soon. Whenever someone he is close to does not contact him, he immediately thinks that they saw the list. So, what do we think? What do we think about the case?
Wait, clarification. Falsely accused, so it's been confirmed that it was a false accusation and the list is not reliable. Okay, interesting. Thoughts?
For me, really, really sad for Mike. Because number one, there's 3 effects. There's 3 aspects
3
of his
major
life.
effects, yeah.
Of his life. Imagine, nawalan ka ng trabaho because of unverified news. Imagine the pain of losing a job. Like, sobrang sakit nun because the economic effect will affect your social life also. And another thing is the psychological effect. So I think, pinaka-nasaktan ako sa kanya for the economic effect. Because it's your job, tapos nawala ka. Hirap mabuhay.
It goes hand in hand with.
Yeah.
That's your life na.
It's a domino effect.
It's a domino effect, and it's really, like Marcus said, it's gonna affect you in each of those aspects, and it's upsetting because wala kang magagawa. And
Yeah, kasi like, we can say that we can report that to authorities, pero you know the world of internet naman.
Yeah,
Hindi na
once it's
mawawala
out there, you can't delete it.
Yeah, you can't delete it.
So, now I'm curious, okay, so how can we, as a community, prevent the spreading of false accusations of harassment? What elements propel the distribution of disinformation in general, and how can we tackle it as individuals?
Honestly, easiest way, you ask questions first before taking it all in. Not everything you see online or even in real life is true.
Yeah.
My gosh, verify the information first, cross-check your sources, or if you really don't know where to start, ask questions.
Yeah, I agree with Kiana. And also, like to emphasize that not everything online is true. View things with skepticism. Like, check nyo muna, totoo ba to? Like, this one is too good to be true. Parang, o kaya, a post about Justin. Parang, Justin is like, it's not like this naman.
Right? And you know what? Honestly, like, Gen Z and like our generation, we're pretty talented. My God, the people I see who are able to create like high quality productions and great websites. My gosh, it's so easy to create a fake website. And make it look like the New York Times posted it. It's as simple as just like pulling up a template and inserting a logo.
Yeah, Photoshop and Canva is pretty accessible.
Very accessible.
Just to add, the asking thing, like before when someone's accused, okay, and I think not just in this case, but for a lot of cases, when someone's accused of anything, don't believe the accusation of them right away. You try to ask first. Let's say me, but let's say a personal relationship. A person accused me of something, and a friend reacted to it. They sided with that person right away before talking to me first. And they don't always ask me, like, Justin, did you actually do this? And let me explain myself to you, and then base your judgment there.
Yeah. Actually, good that you brought that up, because like we can bring back like, oh, what if someone confides in you about like being harassed? honestly, I live by this. Understanding is different from accepting. So like you understanding someone and what they're going through or what their beliefs are doesn't mean you accept all of it. And I feel like that's how we should approach like media now. And that's how we should approach, the information we're receiving. Yeah, we understand it, we're comprehending it, but that doesn't mean we're taking it all in just because it's there, just because it's being spoon-fed to us. Yeah.
I think pretty
Okay. So I just want to hear a takeaway from every single one of you. But for me, just to start, I think that a big takeaway from everything we discussed is really asking first.
Yeah.
And you can be civil about certain things. You can ask first, and what Marcus emphasized earlier is consent. Again, asking.
Yeah.
But just about how they feel about whatever it is that you do or say to prevent it from future occurrences.
Yeah, for me, one key takeaway is that if ever you are a victim of harassment, don't be afraid to speak up. And your feelings are totally valid. Kaya sabi ko, totally valid. And if you feel na parang kaya mo nang i-report, please report it. And I think your friends naman and your family is there to support you.
Yeah. I guess for me, we're all possible victims the same way we're all possible like perpetrators. Like we're all susceptible to not knowing that we're harassing someone, and we're also all susceptible to being harassed. So let's just treat everyone with kindness. Let's read the room and be good people.
Yeah, by being good people, I want to hear how can members of the university support each other in these cases.
Number one is, in terms of the school itself, the university can have a sort of a process on how to report. At least the students can be aware of that there is a process on how to do it. And another one is to really have an office or sub-unit that can handle those cases. I think that's a school initiative that they can do.
Yeah, and as students and as friends of people who might have possibly gone through it, the simplest thing we can do that creates a really big impact is let's not create like a buzz around it. It could be a sensitive topic. It is a sensitive topic, and we don't need to make it very controversial anymore, right?
Yeah, and I think one last question that I have for both of you is, what do you think can be done to prevent these acts from occurring?
Ooh. For me, like, to prevent harassment from happening, like, communication is key. Like, being communicative is really important.
Yeah, from a personal standpoint, if you think na parang you're harassing someone, at least acknowledge that you did something bad to that person and say sorry. In terms of preventing, it's really, going back to read the room, ask for consent.
Yeah.
And golden rule, don't do unto others.
What you don't want done unto yourself.
Alright. Thanks guys. So again, this has been another episode of On Deck brought to you by the Joson, the official university publication. Again, I'm Joson. Joined with me are
Marcus Asinas.
And San Juan.
And thank you for watching.
Bye guys!
Okay.
We're done, baby! Was that our last episode?
Bye.